We appreciate you watching and listening to The Dead Jeff Show. Please like and subscribe and tune in for more videos. After that, Drew retains. We get to the men's Royal Rumble. And listen, Braun Breaker is starting number 2, right? And who was number 1? Was it Oba?
Obafemi was number 1. That's right. I got the list up here.
Yeah, Obafemi was number 1. And man, they are making this guy look like a star, Obafemi. And I'm buying into Obafemi a little bit. And we'll get into that a little bit later. I wasn't buying into Lash Legend, but I like me some Obafemi. We'll get to that in a second. Braun Breaker is number 2, headed to the ring with Paul Heyman. And out of nowhere, there's a run on black hoodies and masks. This mask was slightly different, right?
Yeah.
And so Masked Man attacks Braun Breaker out of nowhere, gives him the stomp, and disappears again and throws Braun Breaker in the ring. Oba tosses him over the rope, and Braun Breaker, his night is over. With a lot of people thought he was going to win this Royal Rumble, him or Roman, and his night was over early. What did you think about the beginning of the men's Rumble?
Yeah, I don't want to be a broken record with the whole Masked Man thing, but if you're going to do this, the payoff is everything. We saw it with Theory, and this is kind of what I think what we all really hypothesized was you do this and you're kind of setting the dude up for failure, because how can it possibly live up to the way that you brought him in and what was used to have him cost somebody something. So in this case, is it, depending on who it is, I guess in this case you can maybe have some interesting outs here. But man, unless it's something very shocking, you're not doing yourself any favors again. That's my biggest takeaway from this is you're putting the gimmick, the thing becomes bigger than the story afterwards, and that's never a good thing.
Well, let's be real. I mean, since the Masked Man appeared and unmasked as Austin Theory, the vision has looked weak.
Yep.
Braun Breaker lost to CM Punk. You have all this DQ stuff happening and all these shenanigans happening. They've looked weak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of chatter about, okay, well, Theory was a plant for Rollins, and so he's going to destroy Vision from the inside, and so a lot of people jumped on that bandwagon, and so this could be Triple H's swerve to go, well, I want to add some intrigue to this, and I'm going to throw another Masked Man out there. And of course, you got Paul Heyman yelling at Seth Rollins. It's Seth Rollins. This Masked Man limped a little bit and looked skinny to me, skinnier. And there's all this dissecting of, let's zoom in on his face. Let's dissect his facial hair. Let's look at his mouth and his lips and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking from a storyline perspective, I think it really does narrow down to a couple of things for me. It's either Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is going to be the plant as the swerve, because everybody thinks it's Theory is a plant, but it's really Paul is the plant for Seth Rollins, which might be kind of cool. I like Logan Paul. I like Seth Rollins. That would be kind of a nice pairing. Some think it's Adam Pearce, which Adam Pearce wasn't that skinny, I don't think. So now who they could say is in the mask, is different.
Yeah.
The other names you hear is, could it be Chris Jericho? Nah, maybe, Well, he's old, so he could limp like that, and he is a little skinnier. Which I just don't see why he would fit into Rollins' plan, because unless he's going to be the wise man, that would be interesting. But what other names are you hearing for the Masked Man?
Those are literally the big ones. Obviously Seth Rollins, but if Paul Heyman's screaming Rollins, it's probably not Rollins. Logan Paul is one that I've heard. Austin Theory was another one that is going, like, it's just Theory again, which I don't know why in the world you would do that. Like that, I hope not for Theory's sake.
Well, when Pierce came out on Raw, we're getting ahead. Well, let's save that. Let's save that.
Yeah. Let's
save that. But yeah, that's the question. So I like the fact that Braun Breaker goes nuts after this, and but he continued that on Raw apparently, but he went nuts. His night was over. He's not going to be in the Rumble at all at this point. And then the Rumble starts, and then after the Braun Breaker stuff, it's the Obafemi show, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead, Luke.
I have a theory. Might be crazy, but I was looking at the picture, and what are the odds that it's Jake Paul?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that? Because he has a longer beard than Logan, his brother. I don't know. I think
I like that actually.
The picture, if you look at the picture, it kind of looks like Jake Paul. I don't know if he's just him but it's actually gonna be somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
So the end game would be Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and Seth Rollins
Ed,
together?
Ed, Ed,
little trio or tag team or something like
yeah.
that.
Well,
I
I
don't
like
know.
that.
when Jake Paul got his jaw busted, I pleaded with him to be in the WWE and stop taking
Yeah.
on these
Right.
boxing matches where you get your
Right.
face beat in. So that would be interesting if it's
I
Jake
like that.
Paul. Yeah, I like that. That's a little out of left field there, so I
There
like
you go,
that.
Maestro. Keep an eye on that one. I
Um,
like that. Hey, real quick though, you said Braun Breaker's not going to be in the Rumble. He was actually thrown in,
I
and
know.
then
That's what I'm saying. He's thrown
uh,
out. People thought he
okay,
was going
gotcha.
to win the Rumble,
Right,
and
right.
so he's not really. He didn't factor in at all. That's what I meant.
Yeah. And so to your point about it being the Obafemi show, the first 5 eliminations go to Obafemi. I mean, man,
And
and
who
he
were
looked
they?
great.
Who did
It
he
was
eliminate? Do you
Braun
know?
Breaker,
Yeah.
then Rusev, then Solo, then Rey Mysterio, and then Matt Cardona.
And at one point, you had 3 NXT guys in there with Trick and Javon Evans, right?
Yep.
And Oba just kind of looking at each other there. So it was an interesting start, but Obafemi looked like a star at the beginning here.
Absolutely.
Any other things at the beginning of this match? You just went through some of these guys, and anything else as you're looking at the list that stood out to you?
So there's 2 things that stood out to me. One, I hated the iguana. I was so stupid.
Oh, I'm glad you
That
brought that up.
drove me nuts. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
About
Getting the
Laparca.
double choke slam from Priest on the that drove me nuts. And then what I loved early on was the El Grande Americano doing the Spider-Man meme, pointing
Yeah.
at each other. That was really, really cool. Great callback there. So I actually really like that a lot. And Gable looks in incredible shape, man. I mean, I know he always is.
What do you mean?
But
What do you mean? Yeah, the head Chad Gable hasn't come back yet. What are you talking
uh,
about?
you're right. I'm sorry. I think they're calling him the original. So El Grande
Yeah.
Americano, the original, looked great. He's in fantastic shape.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that too. I think when you think about guys who didn't get a Rumble spot, but they gave Mr. Iguana and Laparca and these other people spots, and I think that kind of I'm glad that Finn Balor is using that.
Yeah.
With the disrespect, so I'm glad they're doing that. But you could talk about Phoenix and Mysterio and Dragon Lee and those guys. Maybe they shouldn't have. Some of those guys shouldn't have been in there. Not Ray. Ray deserves it, obviously, but Finn can't get in. But all these lucha libre style guys get in there, and I know that they have to have some comic relief. They have to have something for everybody. They also want to promote AAA. So I didn't necessarily love it. I understood it. Didn't like it even, but I could tolerate it, I guess, is the best way to say that for me.
Yeah, and I think for me, and I saw an article, I'm trying to find it so I can give the appropriate credit. I want to say it was Forbes. It may have been WrestleNomics, but there was an article recently about the AAA's involvement with WWE and how the kind of the Mexico ratings for WWE have kind of steadily climbed. I would bet that is a big
It's all about the money.
reason. Yeah, I think that's a big reason why you are seeing Laparca, why you saw Phoenix, why you saw Dragon Lee, why you saw Rey Mysterio. Certainly, like there's the lucha libre, the luchador kind of thing right now. I think AAA is on fire. Like those YouTube clips and all that stuff is getting a ton of views. So I'm not saying I'm agree with it, but obviously WWE is a money machine, and if that's where the ratings are coming from right now, I think that is maybe something to just be considerate of as you kind of think about it, I guess.
Well, when you go from a privately held company to a corporation, and then to a bigger corporation that buys you, it's all about profits. It's all about that drives a lot of these creative decisions. How can we get cross promotion? How do we do this? And so I understand that. I think for me, it's just more about the guys we wanted to see in there that we didn't get to, Finn Balor being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to talk about Brock Lesnar here. Obviously, Brock Lesnar gets in, and I don't know, is there anybody, what number was Brock?
Brock was number 22.
I know, so there's a lot of people from like number 6 where we left off to 22. Anybody else in there that you want to talk about from 6 to 22?
Iguana, I'll just quickly go through it. Iguana, Trick Williams, Cody Rhodes, the Grande Americanos. Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay, yeah. So thanks for bringing him up. So Cody being in, I think, was at 11, right?
Cody was 11, that's right.
And he lasted a pretty good while, but Powerhouse Hobbs flashing up on screen, And then his new name, Royce Keys.
Yep.
How do you go from Powerhouse Hobbs to Royce Keys, right?
Yeah.
There's no nickname there, but I thought that was interesting. I mean, I know that they said the name was sentimental to him, that it meant something to him.
Yep.
But I didn't really like the name, but it was good to see him in there. I think we all knew Cody wasn't going to win this Rumble.
Yeah.
We knew they were not going to let him win 3 in a row at this
No
time.
shot.
So what did you think of Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys?
Yeah, so I same thought as you. Like when he came in, I was like, it was really cool to see him because he's one of the few people that I kind of actually followed it at AEW. Like I've always liked him. So I thought it was really cool to see him. I didn't like the name either, or like I was kind of like, that doesn't really have the same thing. WWE put like a backstage thing out. I'm not sure if you saw it with him like before the show. It's like a 4-minute long video, but it's him walking around. I think he's talking with Cody. He's looking at the set. He's kind of like admiring it. And then you see the story about why they landed on Royce Keys. And it's like, all right, like, if we're selling story, if we're selling, let's build this thing up. And he obviously had a big hand in the new name. At least it wasn't pushed on him. I think that makes me feel a lot better. It felt like a WWE thing, to be totally honest. But apparently he really wanted it. They trademarked it for him. They got it for him. They did exactly what he wanted to do, it sounds like. So I think that kind of changed my perspective on it a little bit because at the time I really didn't care for it.
Was it him? Did he have the stare down with Cody?
Yes.
In the ring?
They did, yes.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if it was him, but I thought that was a cool moment. And then
not letting them engage. They stare, but they never engage. I think that was really smart.
And they did that with Brock and Obafemi as well.
Yeah.
Who else? Go through the list again.
So as we got through Royce, we then go to Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Dragunov, Parka, Lee, Logan Paul, LA Knight, and then we get to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, LA Knight, I think being back, the fans love LA Knight. And I know you're not a fan of LA Knight.
Not really.
I like LA Knight just because he's put in so much work and worked really hard to get to this point. I think the WWE has kind of pushed him into being this diet rock, light rock, yacht rock, maybe. We could call LA Knight yacht rock. But I think that they need to give him a little bit more freedom because I think that the crowd's loving him. So I think the Lesnar thing was interesting because he came out and did the Suplex City stuff and dominated for a little bit. I don't remember who he all eliminated, but he threw out some.
I can tell you, he got Dragunov, he got Rey Fenix, he got Obafemi.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that is they didn't let him engage until he eliminates Obafemi. That shocked me a little bit. But hey, old beast, new beast.
Right.
Let's settle down there, young guy. But then how Lesnar was eliminated was very troubling to me. We have Jey Uso's music. He's yeeting all over the place.
Yeah.
And then quietly, as Jey Uso's music is playing, Brock Lesnar gets eliminated. And who eliminated Brock Lesnar?
Rhodes and LA Knight.
Yes, Rhodes and LA Knight. And now eliminating Brock Lesnar is a big deal.
Big deal.
Not this one. They just quietly dumped him out the ring, and I when he came in at 22, I was like, how long is he going to last? Because he's not a Rumble guy. He does not going to put a wrestling hold on you, or he's going to throw everybody out. And if he can't throw him out, he looks weak. So what are they going to do? So this is their answer to that. They got him quietly out while Jey Uso's eating.
Yeah, and just on the LA Knight thing, just because we're there, right? So these are LA Knight's eliminations. Just to your point about like what they're doing with LA Knight, he eliminates Austin Theory, he eliminates Bronson Reed. So let's take some more stock out of the vision, and then he helps eliminate Brock Lesnar. Everything that they do with LA Knight is to push him to be this huge megastar.
And they Sami Zayn him.
Then they Sami Zayn him. That's a perfect example. And then they Sami Zayn him. It's like
they don't let him win.
What do you want me to think about this guy, WWE? Like clearly you want me to have a view of him, but not one of him winning ever. Anything that matters. So it's just weird. It's a weird thing.
Luke, you were an Uso fan growing up. What do you think about Jey Uso in this current iteration of Jey with the yeets and all that stuff?
No, I cannot stand the yeeting. That's so old. Nobody's doing that anymore. Like what this? I feel like it's a common theme with the WWE right now. Is like, kind of bringing back people, like when they brought back The Rock last year or whatever. Now Roman Reigns is back, and I mean, I don't know. Nobody's doing the yeet. I don't know why people are so hyped when he like is doing that. I think that they need to give him something else, but I get that they're not gonna give him something else because the crowd is into it,
They
but
love it.
Merch, baby, merch.
I just don't understand it. Like, it's just kind of so cringe to me. Like why are we doing these yeets? Like, what? I don't understand it. It's nobody's saying that anymore. It's not trending. It's not, I guess, popular to say anymore. Like, that's like when I was in high
Yeah.
school, and that was like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So
I think you got a point there, but if you look at the people running WWE, they're older people, and so Jey Uso did bring it back, and it was pretty popular, pretty successful as he launched it. That new song of his
Yep.
just fit perfectly with it, and I think that's why it's gotten so over. Crowd gets to participate.
Interaction, yep.
McAfee hyped it up. He was yeeting off the table and just really just kind of making it come around again. It's kind of like
Yeah.
6-7. By the time 6-7 got popular to people like my age, it was played out for people your age, right? So it's like, it's the same thing. It's sort of, I guess these things have waves, right? And the young people do it, then the older people do it, and
no,
then it's
it's like you remember when everyone was dabbing and stuff.
yes.
That's like if they were still doing dabbing, and like nobody's doing that anymore. Like, why are we doing dabs and the
Let's do it.
Soulja Boy dance? Like, why are we doing that? Nobody's doing that anymore because it's old. Like, it's old
Classic.
news. It's not though, because he's just yelling it. Like, why can't he yell something else? Like,
Yeet. Yeah.
no.
Well, hey, don't hate on the yeet. Don't be a hater. I knew you didn't like the Yeet Meister. I knew you didn't like the Yeet Jey Uso, but I know you're an Uso fan. So I just wanted to give you a chance to say that. But I personally like his entrance music. I could live or die, take or leave the yeeting. But anyway, Jey Uso is coming to the ring, yeeting all over the place, and Lesnar goes over the top rope, and we barely catch that on camera, and they just barely mention it. So, and then we move on. And then we get to after Lesnar comes. You go ahead through the list here.
Yeah, so as we get into that kind of after Uso at 25, then we get the OTC, we get Jacob Fatu, we get Penta, Randy Orton, and Gunther. So you get a who's who there in the last 5 entrants that really stacks the ring. So your last kind of group of guys here are LA Knight, Javon Evans, Penta, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Gunther, and then Reigns. Like, that's your
Yeah.
close of the show.
No surprises.
No surprises. I was shocked we didn't get Jericho. That was the one that really, really shocked. I thought for sure this would be a Jericho spot.
Yeah.
Other than Jericho, I don't know that there was another one, like from a surprise standpoint, that I was expecting to see.
No TNA guy. No Joe Hendry. None of that.
Yes, Hendry surprised me only in that I thought it would have been a good spot for him.
Yeah.
But there may be a little bit of a protection going on with him. Like, if you can't fit him in a way that's not going to improve his stock, why do it at all? So I get that, I think.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So again, I'm a big Randy Orton fan. So I'm glad I think he was in the final couple there, final 4, right? Randy Orton.
Randy Orton was he was the third to last one. So your final. So I guess let's as we close on the men's Royal Rumble, here are your last 6, right? So you had Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Gunther, and Reigns.
Yeah.
Of that group, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Logan Paul, and Gunther were all eliminated by Roman Reigns. The only guy that wasn't eliminated by Reigns was Randy Orton, and he was eliminated by Gunther. When we talked about this whole career killer thing, one of the things that we posited was, if you're going to do this, the only way you can do it is if you've got like 3 or 4 guys lined up for him for the next year. And we said it would be Cena, it would be Styles, it would be Orton.
Don't
and
let
then
it be Orton.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
They're laying the groundwork, man. It's coming.
Yeah, I know. I think we know we're going to get Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Cody and Jacob Fatu aren't done, but Fatu was not even a real factor in this Rumble either,
At
and
all.
so I was surprised by that. It's because they're busy making Oba a star and Trick Williams, and Javon Evans.
But for Fatu to not have a single elimination is kind of wild.
Yeah, it's wild,
Like,
right?
that's crazy.
And Gunther coming out at the end, and being there at the end. Of obviously he's
Yep.
going to be there at the end because he's the number 30. But my point is that was a little tired, like Luke said earlier. So we get Roman Reigns as the winner, and I'm so tired right now. I don't even remember who he eliminated at the end to win.
It's Gunther. Gunther and
Gunther,
Reigns
that's
were the
right.
last two. Yeah.
I didn't like Gunther and Reigns being the last two.
Same.
I didn't like super powered Roman Reigns eliminating everybody. I know
Yeah.
you're a Roman Reigns guy. I've
Yep.
never really been a Roman Reigns guy. I
Yep.
think it goes to the Suffering Succotash promo. I've never forgiven him for that.
Man, what was that, like 6 years ago now? 7 years
It
ago?
was a long time ago,
It's
and
been
the
a
promo he
minute.
did on Raw was fantastic. We'll get to that in a minute. But who do you think looked like a star in the men's Rumble? Who do you think looked like less than they should in the men's Rumble?
Yeah.
Any comments about that?
I think kind of like the women's, there's two answers here. There's the one that WWE clearly wants to push, and that's Obafemi, mission accomplished. And then there's the one that did well for himself that I think WWE is helping with, but it's confusing, which is LA Knight. I thought
Yeah.
LA Knight had a phenomenal Rumble, and I'm not an LA
Yeah.
Knight fan, but I'm just going to be objective about it. He had a great Rumble. He looked great. He looked the part, interacted with all the top names. Nothing to not like. He got eliminated by Cody Rhodes. They protected him in every possible way that they could. So I thought Obafemi was pushed very early, and then I thought LA Knight had a great showing late. So
Yeah,
those would be my two standouts.
And speaking of Cody Rhodes, Drew eliminated Cody, which is
Yeah.
fueling the feud. We totally missed. We didn't talk about that, but that was a really cool spot where here comes
Great spot.
Drew McIntyre. Cody's on the skirt. He gives him the Claymore, and Cody falls and is eliminated. And we're going to get more Drew versus Cody. Maybe Drew, Cody, Fatu triple threat at WrestleMania, something like that. But I really like the Drew and Cody interaction still. We know Cody and Roman aren't done, as they had also a stare down. But all in all, I agree with you. I think Obafemi looked like a superstar. I think Jey Uso did not, other than his entrance. Jacob Fatu didn't get helped here. But yeah, I agree with what you said. Obafemi, LA Knight. I think they protected Cody Rhodes during this match as well. So anyway, what was your overall grade for this Rumble?
So I think I have two grades because I think for me, I really enjoyed the men's Rumble. Again, you mentioned it. I'm kind of a Reigns fan. So I liked the way that they booked him, kind of superhero Reigns coming back. I think if I were to kind of grade it overall, I'd probably give it a solid B. I think the women's was more of like a C grade, and the men's was more of a B plus, A minus. And then the stuff in the middle was okay. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't great. So I would go B, B plus.
Yeah, I think I'm at a C plus, B minus myself. Probably C plus, because the winners were predictable. There weren't enough surprises for me, but it was entertaining. So I'll probably land at a C plus. Luke, what is your grade?
Yeah, I'll probably give it like a C because AJ Styles lost and Gunther moves on, and I don't know how I feel about Roman Reigns coming back and winning, and I mean we're gonna see how that plays out, but I don't know. I hope it's different than the last 1 million years that Roman Reigns had the title. So yeah, probably like a C is probably what I would give it.